The stroller rolled quietly through the crowded station. Too quietly. The baby inside didn't cry, didn't move. Most people wouldn't notice. But Rex the canine did. He froze, his bark shattering the air like glass. What he uncovered inside that stroller would leave everyone speechless. Before we start, make sure to hit like and subscribe. And really, I'm curious, where are you watching from? Drop your country name in the comments. I love seeing how far our stories travel. The train station buzzed with its usual rhythm, announcements echoing overhead, footsteps rushing in every direction, and the steady hum of travelers lost in their own worlds. Families wheeled suitcases, business people clutched briefcases, and the scent of coffee drifted from a nearby kiosk. Among the crowd, a young couple pushed a stroller, moving steadily toward the security checkpoint. The baby inside seemed fast asleep, wrapped in a soft blanket. Nothing about them appeared unusual. Just another family making their way through the station. Just another stroller rolling quietly across the polished floor. Yet in the corner of the terminal, the K9 unit moved with practiced precision. Officers walked their dogs through the sea of travelers, eyes alert, trained to catch what the human eye could miss. Mark, a seasoned handler, guided his German Shepherd Rex along the lines of passengers, unaware that this ordinary day was about to take a chilling turn. Rex halted without warning. One moment he was padding confidently beside Mark. The next his body went rigid, ears pricked forward, nostrils flaring as if the air itself carried a secret. His gaze locked on the stroller rolling a few feet ahead. Mark gave a gentle tug on the leash. "Come on, boy," he murmured, expecting Rex to fall back in line. But Rex refused to move. Instead, a low growl rumbled in his chest, vibrating like distant thunder. His tail stiffened, his entire body coiled with intensity. Mark frowned. He had worked with Rex for years, trusted him more than most people. The dog didn't growl for nothing. Still, it was odd. Why a stroller? Babies were common here. Travelers came and went every day, carrying all sorts of luggage. But Rex's eyes never wavered. Then he barked, once sharp and loud, cutting through the station's noise. Heads turned, conversations paused, and passengers slowed their steps. Mark felt the familiar jolt of adrenaline. Something wasn't right. His partner had found a target, and as Rex strained toward the stroller, muscles taut, Mark realized this wasn't a false alarm. The dog was certain. There was something hidden inside that quiet bundle of blankets. Two officers approached quickly, their expressions stern, while Rex barked again, louder this time. The couple froze, the mother's hands tightening on the stroller's handle. "Ma'am, sir," one officer said firmly, "we need to ask you a few questions." The woman forced a smile, though her lips trembled. "It's just our baby, he's sleeping," she insisted. Her voice was calm, but her eyes flickered nervously toward Rex, who growled low, refusing to relent. The father stepped forward, blocking part of the stroller with his body. "We're in a hurry," he muttered, his tone clipped. Passengers slowed, whispering among themselves, eyes darting toward the commotion. Some leaned in, curiosity written across their faces, while others pulled back, sensing trouble. Mark watched carefully. Years of training told him the truth often revealed itself in body language. And this couple's every movement screamed unease. "Sir, step aside," an officer ordered. The man hesitated, then reluctantly shifted back. Rex barked again, sharper now, pulling at his leash toward the stroller. Mark's heart thudded. Babies might sleep quietly, but Rex wasn't trained to lie. Something inside that stroller was wrong. Very wrong. The officers exchanged a quick glance, then one of them nodded. "Open it," he instructed. The mother's face drained of color. "No, he's sleeping," she protested, clutching the stroller tighter. But her trembling hands betrayed her calm words. Mark stepped forward, his voice firm. "Ma'am, step back now." The father muttered something under his breath, but the officers gently pulled the stroller away. Rex barked furiously, the leash straining as if he would rip the blanket away himself. The crowd held its breath. With deliberate care, one officer pulled back the soft blanket covering the baby. Gasps rippled through the terminal. The infant lay eerily still, his skin pale, his tiny chest rising only in shallow, uneven breaths. He wasn't peacefully sleeping, he was struggling. But that wasn't all. Tucked beneath the baby's cushion, hidden where no one would think to look, were several small vials and packets sealed tight. The officer lifted one, his hand shaking. It wasn't baby formula. It was powder, illegal, dangerous, and deadly. The crowd erupted in shock. Some passengers cried out. Others covered their mouths in horror. The mother sobbed, the father cursed, but neither could escape the reality. They had used their own child as a cover for smuggling. Mark's chest tightened. The baby whimpered faintly, then fell silent again. Rex let out a sharp, urgent bark as if demanding action. This wasn't just a bust. This was a life-or-death moment. The baby's body jerked suddenly, a tiny convulsion that made everyone in the room freeze. His lips quivered, a faint wheeze escaping his fragile chest. Panic surged through Mark. This wasn't just exhaustion, the child was in serious danger. Medic! "We need medics now," Mark shouted. His voice echoed through the station. Within seconds, paramedics rushed forward, kneeling beside the stroller. They moved with practiced speed, checking the infant's pulse, his breathing, his pupils. Their expressions darkened. "He's been drugged," one medic muttered grimly. "Sedatives. Maybe worse." The mother's face crumpled with tears, but the father twisted violently, trying to break free from the officer's grip. "Let me go," he roared. But 3 security men wrestled him down, handcuffs snapping into place. The mother collapsed to her knees, sobbing, her voice barely audible over Rex's frantic barking. The paramedics lifted the baby carefully, wrapping him in fresh blankets. His chest heaved erratically, each breath a desperate battle. "We need to move now," the lead medic barked. Mark's throat tightened as he followed. Rex trotted beside him, whining anxiously, his sharp eyes glued to the infant. The dog had never been so restless, pacing, pulling at the leash as though he understood the stakes. The baby's tiny hand twitched once against the medic's glove, then went limp. The crowd gasped in unison. Time was running out. The ambulance doors slammed shut, sirens wailing as it tore through traffic toward the nearest hospital. Mark sat in the back with Rex, watching the medics fight for every breath the baby took. Tiny monitors beeped erratically, each sound more chilling than the last. Minutes stretched like hours until, finally, the team burst into the emergency ward. Doctors rushed forward, whisking the child away under blinding lights. Mark remained outside, heart pounding, Rex pacing restlessly at his side. The dog whined, nose pressed against the swinging doors as if refusing to let the child out of his sight. At last, a doctor emerged, his face grim. "The baby was sedated intentionally," he explained. "Strong drugs to keep him silent. He was being used to smuggle contraband." The words sank like stones in Mark's chest. Around him, officers exchanged stunned glances, jaws tightening in anger and disbelief. Rex gave a low growl, his body rigid, as if he had known the truth all along. Mark clenched his fists, rage and relief colliding inside him. "They almost killed their own child," he whispered. Then he glanced down at his partner. "But you stopped them, buddy. You saved him." The parents were led away in handcuffs, their heads bowed under the weight of their crime. Passengers watched in stunned silence, whispers rippling through the station. Inside the hospital, the baby's breathing steadied, his fragile chest rising with new strength. Mark stood quietly in the corridor, one hand resting on Rex's fur. The German shepherd finally relaxed, tail thumping softly against the floor, his sharp eyes still fixed on the recovery room door. When the baby let out a strong, piercing cry, relief washed over everyone. Mark smiled faintly, whispering to his partner, "You gave him that second chance." Silence can be deceiving. A quiet stroller nearly carried tragedy unnoticed, but Rex's instincts uncovered the truth. That day, he wasn't just a canine officer, he was a guardian angel. Some heroes wear badges, others wear fur. Share this story, and honor the 4-legged protectors who save lives every day.